I'm Sudeepthi Dondapati. Today, I have an interesting aspect to discuss with you. Let me ask you a question. Many of you, right, in various times, might have joined and aspired for some good companies, and finally you got selected as according to your desire. So you got placed in very interesting companies, and this is one category. Now there are upcoming graduates who want to be placed in good companies placements, so even they want to aspire to reach higher higher places, like where they have desired to be in one day. So accordingly they have got placed in the company that they want to. So there are two categories, and the people who already got placed before and the people who got just placed in the present time. Now these are two categories. Now they will go to their workplaces and they start doing their jobs, right? And they start working. They start working their on their projects, and they start doing their performances. Now they have some hurdles to do it. So now what are the methods they use, and how do they come out of that? So this is the topic we are going to discuss today. Use SWOC to lock your fears. So let's get started. Now, what is a SWOC? So many time we hear, right, from people conduct a SWOC analysis, and this is the a term often we hear in place soft skills. So what is a SWOC? Is it a technical term, or is it a scientific term, or is it a general language term? And what are some meanings attached, and what are its functions basically? So like, is it a singular word or a plural word, or does it have many implications? So whatever inhibitions or doubts you have on your mind, so let me clarify with you today in today's session. So just basically a single word: SWOC analysis. So now, do you know what's the full form of it? So what is it about? And is it a technical word? And if it is a technical word, why are we discussing in soft skills class or session? So this is a question for you, right? So I'm here to help you with some strategies to overcome from your work pressure. And especially when you're working in a company, you will have to face many hurdles, obstacles. And what are you going to do? What are the measures you're going to opt for? And in case if there is a problem that really troubles you, and what is do you like to resign from the place you're working, or is it like you just cater to the work that they really ask you, and then get pressurized, stressed, and finally won't be like unable to give enough output that the company requires or the company demands from you? So is that the method that you really resort to? No, that's certainly not a solution. You will have to, if you're the person who is suffering or who is going through this kind of pressure, then you're the right person to use this SWOC analysis. And not only the ones who are already working in different companies, but also this is a good strategy for the upcoming graduates or the present contemporary software or hardware, whoever are you, like somebody who got placed in good companies. So this is for you, right? So SWOC analysis. So before I say it and open its abbreviation, let me tell you the importance of it, and why is it, and what is it, why it is, and how is it going to be used. So SWOC analysis is basically used in business, any kind of business, for withstanding different problems. So when we train students in soft skills, so all these soft skills trainers will definitely handle and try to train students from different perspectives, especially using SWOC analysis, and they will bring awareness in using this method. Just it's such a good technique, I tell you. Believe me or not, it will really help you face you problems, and it will help you withstand different hurdles. So definitely it will be of good use. So my place, you have to, it's good if you can use this SWOC analysis. So basically it is used in business setups, professional setup. So there, when you work, definitely you will have to resort to some kind of known strategies, basically, right? And for example, let me tell you, you're working in a company, right? You're working in a company there, like you have received so many, like for example, like you've got the desired results, which you've been aiming or wanted to obtain from long time ago. So you got it finally, and finally, like what happens is, like suddenly there is a competition, or like your coordinators are not able to bear you, or they're pressurizing you, or they want you to produce a lot of a positive result, or the desired result, or the demanding result. And so, and there you start doing it, this pressure started, it gets mounted up, and finally, like it, and all your fears bottled up, and then what is a way you'll be looking for. So, and definitely if you use this particular method, what you do is, first you try to understand the problem, and then you understand the alternative solutions, and finally you'll try to understand yourself also. This is one of the methods that is very apt for any kind of situation, for that matter. So if you can do that, then you are the person that the company is aspiring for. And this is a very strategic and kind of diplomatic way of escaping the problem. But it is certainly not falsifying any things that are around you, but definitely it's one way of smart work, where you can do it, and it is such a knowledgeable task that you can really take up, right? Like SWOC analysis is used in business, so work, any kind of work for that matter. It's not only a particular technological company, or it is not particularly some kind of like company which is at its peak, but any organization that you're working for. So you can apply this method and try to achieve your targets. So it is a strategic planning used to research external and internal factors which affect success and the growth of that particular company. So what does it help? How does it help? What does it do? What basically, it is a methodological, systematic, and a procedural kind of task which will help you understand the external consequences, or the external pressures, or the external factors, or the external characteristics of any kind of problem that pose you a severe threat, and then finally help you to kind of, and also understand some internal factors that surround you, and that really obstructing you to achieve your desired result. So you will be able to understand the external factors one way, and also you'll be able to understand the internal factors. So both understanding both two the aspects, and then now we will start focusing on the solution of the company. So we'll be focusing on the solution of the company, and then finally you'll be aiming at the result that you really want to achieve, right? So now let's get proceeded, started. So SWOC, SWOC, or SWOT, even, like there are two terms that we use interchangeably, whereas S stands for strengths or strength. W stands for weakness or weaknesses. O stands for opportunities or opportunity. C stands for challenges or challenge. Whereas in SWOT analysis, all three are same, like S for strength, and W for weakness, O for opportunities, and T for threats, whereas C here is a challenge. And there, the T is a threat or threats, right? Both mean the same, but the last factor will be here challenges, and there it is threat. So threats, possibly, what are some threats that you can really predict, and what are some challenges that you might have to face and that you currently been going through. So that's only the difference that exists, right? Now, let's get started. So SWOC is SWOC, strength, weakness, opportunities, challenges, right? Thank you. Next, it is relevant to SWOT analysis. Yes, that's what we've been discussing, right? So, whereas see, SWOT, strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Whereas SWOC analysis focus on what threats rather than challenges. So, SWOC will not only face or will not only focus on challenges, but also it talks about some possible kind of like existing competitive parameters, whereas SWOT focuses entirely on the threats or some dangers or some harmful where you envisage and you foresee some dangers that really come before. So that is a point that we have here in this session, behind the basic distinction between the SWOC and SWOT analysis. Now here, hope you have understood without any doubt. Now let's get started with some upcoming aspects and some interesting points I have for you. So how to use this? You know now what is SWOC and SWOT, and now how do you use it? So you use it. Strengths are features that will bring advantage or that will help the office or the job place or the company you're working. So definitely they're very advantages, and they are the features. Basically, they are the characteristics. They are the traits of that particular thing that you are working in, where you're working in. So that is one thing. And then in case if you determine to start a project or a product, then definitely you can offer or you can resort to that cheaper than your competitor. So finally, and that's all you feel that will really boost up the company needs. So exactly, you have to understand what are some possible strengths that you've already understood. So what are some good things that you can really see in the company that you're working, and what are some advantages where it earns profit, a lot of profit, where it is able to perform very well, excellent in that particular field, where you can definitely achieve good results, desired results in that particular field. So definitely you can see that. So that is one thing. And another thing is strength is also something that really benefit the employees there. Okay, if you work there, definitely you can reap the result, and you go anywhere outside and you carry that reputation. So all that will really help you and face the challenges that are coming ahead, and that is really binding up you from not being able to progress in your future endeavors. So you understand the strengths, and then that you feel so strong enough to continue your task, and you really get enlightened and you really get strengthened, and then you start doing it. So that is the power of understanding and realizing strengths of your organization or a company that you're working in, right? So you have to understand. And what are some examples that you can really list out, under the category of strengths? Strengths could be anything like that you're, efficient workers, or could be the targets that the company has received or approached, or the targets that the company has, really approached very fast. For example, if you have good placements in particular organization, or for example, if you have received so many product developments, or if you have received so many projects, definitely that will really cause, or that will form as your strength, and that will really bring you a great success ahead. So, and if you, what happens, let me tell you what happens if you don't realize what is your strength, or what is your company's strength, and where you are really working at. What happens is, like, you won't be able to make use of the existing strength or the resources that will really further strengthen that particular company. So, for example, receiving so many, for example, like, to be able to create so many products, to be able to produce so many and develop new products, right? For example, if you have, if it's a brand new company, and like you have developed a sort of nice tea making, right? So, and you offered, you established so many centers for this, offering tea, and this is something, that interesting product that your company has come up with, and at once upon a time, it really tried to, it reaped so much of success, and it got the desired result. And having that success, you can really take forward. Even now, that is continuing the same, and it is, it is blowing its trumpet like anything, and it hits success anytime there. And because of its brand new taste variety of tea that this company offers. And this company always, has so many great profits, and that will make you very strong to establish the further and for future endeavors. So that is definitely your strength. And if you undermine, and if you underrate this kind of thing and strength, then you won't be able to proceed next. So if you have that good records of what this, and even this customer service is excellent, and positive reviews online, and so many, so this Amazon, Flipkart, see, that is how these people do, and they conduct this kind of survey analysis, and based on that, they attract new masses, and they attract new customers, and finally they come up with, and they try to buy from that particular service, Amazon service or Flipkart or whatsoever. So what do? So they have very clean records. Sometimes sometimes these customers may give very poor feedback, but they see to that at least 90% of the feedback that they receive are, and from people, is really good. So these records will help you understand your strengths. And if you have very bad records, you won't be able to see that as your strength. So what happens is, like, you are trying to figure out your strength, and then just like you figure out your problem. So that is what. So these customer service reviews and service are definitely are kind of like helping factors to realize your strengths. Now, what are some weaknesses? Now you have understood the strengths of the company, and now weaknesses. So what will help you? What is the thing that really you get it? Like, in case if that is not, in case like that, you have realized that that's the weakness of your company. So not only for a businessman, for a person who really, starts his or her career, he needs to look at his strengths. He needs to look at his weaknesses. He needs to look at his opportunity. He needs to look at the threats or possible challenges that he really confront. So that is the analysis that he must perform before he goes for the company's output analysis. So the next step here in a SWOC analysis is noticing your weaknesses. Yes, you're right. So you notice your weaknesses, and that will really act as a stumbling block for your company, and they are not able to proceed further, and that is what weaknesses cause a company to struggle. Definitely. And to be able to ignore, or for example, like, you're purposefully doing that and ignoring it and not being enlightened about the weaknesses you have, that will really ruin your company's success. So you have to realize your weaknesses just like you realize your strengths. So this will show in report and cause an internal struggle within the company. So what happens? Reports are very bad and they're very negative, and they cause certainly an internal rivalry or struggle or kind of combat, right, within the company. So they start mushrooming up, right, within the company, right, they start mushrooming up, and just like that they spread from roots to, I know to and they will kind of like hamper your fruits. So that is why you need to realize your fruits, and especially you need to realize your weaknesses, right? So they need to be documented. What do they have to? So what do you have to do? It they need to be documented to handle. So you have to, what is it like you have to jot them, and you have to remember and make a point, and you list out your weaknesses, and then try to start solving the results, start resolving your weaknesses and start handling your weaknesses. Definitely you will be able to kind of like receive your, this will definitely, before it spreads and leads to overall destructions. So what happens is, like, if you do not see the seed itself, where the small bud, okay, flower bud, or a kind of like fruit, small, sapling is not very healthy, and it starts spoiling from the root, like roots, and it starts slowly spreading, like, just like this dangerous cancer, where it spreads and throughout the body, right? When you don't realize it, it starts acting on its tissues, and then eventually your whole body gets spoiled, and then like it is ruined up. So in the same way, if the company or any organization that you're really working in, if it doesn't look at its weakness or problems, it will finally have to face the final round, where it has to reap so many bad results. So that is why it has to keep a kind of like a very solution before it starts doing it. Next, opportunities. So what are its opportunities actually? So in SWOC, strengths, weaknesses, and then opportunity. The third letter stands for, O is opportunity. So what is these opportunities? These are external, right? These are external. They come from above. They come from outside, and you have to realize them. You have to realize, for example, one company agency is there, like, thought of planning graphic design, right? And they offer, very less fee to redo the existing, clients. So this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity there. And, you can, this is an opportunity for you to start or innovate or develop a new type of work without really losing your problems, so without losing your profits. So what you do is, like, definitely they are, for examples, you have to look for opportunities. You have to look for opportunities. You can't be quiet there, and see possible opportunities where you can kind of like update yourself with some opportunities. Try here and there, and look for new opportunities that are coming up while you're working in a company, where you can take your organization or institution or the company that you're working in, to heights. So with this kind of, super alertness, definitely you can reach the success about ahead and, in your future. So being open to opportunities, knowing when to look them. So you have to know when to look them and how to act on them. When to look and how to act. So a shrewd, a very intelligent, a wise person will keep an eye over all these things. He starts realizing his strengths, weaknesses. He looks forward, to act on opportunities. So a wise person, an intelligent or successful leader will definitely cater to all these strategies, or will definitely, it will bring, he or she will bring great success to the company. Next, you have to now SWOC, like the fourth one is challenges, or the other alternative we talked about is threats, like, strengths, right? Weaknesses, opportunities, and here in SWOT analysis, it is challenges. You have to realize what are some challenges, acknowledge them, accept them, and then act on them. Acknowledge them, accept them, and then act on them. So you have to have 3 A's when you talk about or when you want to learn about these challenges. So what you're doing is like you are kind of like you have to realize what are challenges that your company or organization has, and then immediately work on that. And then give a tough competition or tough fight against opposite companies. And definitely you will be on the lead and you will reach your targets. So that is very important. That's very important. So the final step in SWOT analysis is acknowledging challenges. So they are similar and they are more or less, similar to threats, but you can really have this kind of opportunity to overcome. Whereas what are threats? They have potential to damage a particular company, organization, or a company. Okay, whereas challenges often they will help you provide both the same. Like you can understand to be able to identify threats is one thing. To be able to identify your challenges and work on them, like both are good. You don't have to worry about one. Now, where do you use this SWOT analysis? Like you can use anywhere. It's whenever you have a business kind of thought, right? So you can go anywhere. It's like starting a brand new business or a product or product upgrade, or you're working in a software company, or wherever you are, you can use this SWOT analysis. So make it SWOT analysis. So do this SWOT analysis annually, quarterly, or monthly. So like what you do is like in any organization, you be a person to propose this SWOT analysis. So you do that, and then finally, and you can really achieve the desired result. So what you're doing is like, it could be any small project that you are really starting, or a really big brand new product that you are trying to develop in a company. You are doing it. So wherever you are, try to make use of this, and then definitely you'll be able to do it. So then you choose to do SWOT analysis, right? It is cost effective way. See, it is free and it is it is customer friendly, like way people are working, employees friendly, and cost free. You don't have to invest a lot of money there. And just analyzing, understanding, acknowledging, accepting, acting on them will help you understand how to really reap result, right? Like you can really do to failure or venture product, right? So that's important. Next, personal SWOT analysis or SWOT analysis. Now, by now you might have understood the distinction and hope this confusion is no more between SWOT and SWOT, right? So it can, SWOT or SWOT analysis can do the same for an individual or for any company. But you can definitely adopt this. Not only an individual can go for this, but also kind of like, not only one individual, but when a company, whole company, or a group or a team, anybody can go for that. Next, it provides insights based on your personality. It provides insights based on your personalities, strengths and weaknesses, right? So, based on your strengths, personality, characteristics, traits, you can see what challenges you, and ahead of you, that come ahead of you, what comes before you, and what opportunities are present around you. So you have, it's like, you go like in an army, like for example, if you're in the army, like you see the possible threats around you, right? You shoot a gun, and then like you try to see the danger, and you search in the nook and corner where this danger is there for you. So, right, like what you're trying to see every place, examine every place, and that will really help you. What is it like? Find the suitable measure, and how you can really figure out the problem, and you can really shoot at it, in order to achieve the result. Right. Next, the SWOT analysis. Well, first you have to know who is a person who started of all that. It was devised completely was devised as a business tool in the beginning. It's as a business tool. It's for this success of business, right? Roland Grissom, right? Kenneth Andrews and William Goods. So these people started working on that, and they devised the SWOT or SWOC analysis. So basically, this is a four quadrant table. So strengths, weakness, opportunities, and analysis. Now, we've discussed like why to do it, what to do it. Now, how to do a personal SWOT analysis. Now, how do you do your personal SWOT analysis? You start doing, by having this four quadrant matrix, right? So you create your own matrix and then start assessing your strengths. Now, let us talk about the first one in the matrix, first quadrant, that is assessing your strengths. Assess your strengths. Now, what skills and certifications do you have that give an advantage over others? What skills, what more you have, over your enemies or over your opponents, over your, people there. So what more additional things you have got, right? So what skills and certifications you have that give an advantage over others. Secondly, do you have any powerful industry contacts who you could watch for your skills and abilities, right? So you can in industry. So this networking is very important to be able to contact them and get help from them, to be able to identify it, to be able to diagnose it, and to be able to receive that kind of sort of benefit from them, right? That is one thing. Next, what would your boss or your co-workers say are your strengths, and what will they tell about you? What will they tell you? So you have to make sure that they also give a sort of kind of analysis and feedback about you. So what would your boss, your head, or your co-workers say are your strengths? So take feedback from them and then try to analyze it. What can you do better than anybody else? So superior over. So in terms of performance. Next, does your education and expertise fill a void that is lacking in your organization? So in your institute, organization, or a company, or college, wherever you work in, does your education and expertise fill the lack? So that is your contribution. You have to realize. And next, what beneficial values do you have that you believe others to fail you? What is it? Like you believe others to fail, others, show, right? What are your most rewarding achievements? So you have to draw a line, your rewarding, outstanding achievements. What are your merits? What have you achieved? And what have you won for the company? So you list out there. Now, step 2, assess your weaknesses. You have assessed your strength, and now you have to assess your weaknesses. Now, like when you assessed strength, you don't want to hold back. Like you have to go further, right? So you have to be honest with yourself to determine or to realize your weaknesses, right? You have to be honest if you have to perform well. Like, do you meet your deadlines? Do you handle stress? How do you handle stress? Okay, are there tasks that avoid, others because you don't feel confident enough to do them, right? To do them. So you have to think on all these lines. Are you really able to take the pressure that is, that cause you some problems, and are you able to, how do you withstand the stress, how do you take up that? So and really, do you really meet deadlines? You have to realize. Next, identify opportunities. 3, right? In the third matrix, in the matrix third quadrant, you have to understand, are you really able to identify your opportunities? Like, is there a new technology that you can learn, right, that will help you reach your goals, right? You have to understand, is there anything new? like any upcoming, that whether you're able to upgrade yourself with that particular thing or not, like whether can you find help from others on the internet. So all these things, whether you have attended some good sessions that will really improve your skills, where are your opportunities, what are your opportunities. Now this is the high time for you to think, for all the upcoming graduates, workers at the same time already who are working, ongoing employees, right? The fourth quadrant is like to be aware of the threats, right? Who is your competition? Who are they? And are you able to do it? Are you and the other co-workers trying to get same job or same promotion? Like, are your skills obsolete? So they don't exist anymore? Or do they exist anymore? Or do they, they are out of the box? You have to understand it. So you have to work on that, all possible skills, right? So having all these things in your mind, you have to understand. So let me tell you, we have looked at this for how to do it, right? Just a while ago, we understood how you can really arrange all these things in a box, like matrix, 4 quadrants, your strengths, weaknesses, and then try to evaluate your weaknesses, try to evaluate your strengths, try to evaluate your opportunities, and then finally try to work on the challenges or possible threats that you have for your future. So with all these things, definitely you can achieve success individually, also for your company, and you will be the person who can really cater to all the opportunities coming ahead for your future endeavors, and that will really help you get the desired success really you intend for. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.